Hello everyone, my name is Dorian Herrero and thank you for coming to tonight's seminar in regards to cyberbullying. Before we get started, let me go ahead and hand out the brochures for today. And I do apologize, we have a larger group than I expected here, so we might have to share some brochures, but once again, I do thank you all for coming.
Oh, this is great. My favorite color.
All right. So overall, we're going to be going over the brochure and the different sections, starting with the magnitude of the issue, and then be going over the behavioral characteristics of cyberbullying, also some statistics on cyberbullying, intervention strategies, recommendations, and also the impact and social development it does have on the kids or students that have been cyberbullied. So overall, we're going to start from the top now on the magnitude of the issue. If you want to go to the first page of the brochure. So cyberbullying overall, would anyone like to explain or give a definition of what cyberbullying is?
Bullying on the internet.
Bullying on the internet?
Saying bad words when you're texting to people.
Saying bad words when you're texting to people? How about the adults here? We have the kids examples of cyberbullying. How about the adults? Any definitions you would put into cyberbullying?
Unwelcome harassment.
Unwelcome harassment.
Via electronic device.
Via electronic device. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so as you...
Trolling.
Trolling. Definitely big in cyberbullying. So as you can see, cyberbullying, it is covert. It's a psychological bullying conveyed through electronic uniforms, kind of like as you mentioned, through text messages. Students' usage of electronic devices has increased over the past 5 years. Students have reportedly been cyberbullied, were more likely to report using substance abuse. Victims of cyberbullying are less likely to ask for help compared to normal victims of traditional bullying. So for example, the parents here might have not ever experienced cyberbullying, or might have. However, traditional bullying was the topic of issue during the 90s, the 80s, 70s, 60s, but now in the 2000s, it seems that cyberbullying has become the biggest epidemic in terms of bullying. So some of the behavioral characteristics that cyberbullying contributes to is headaches, nausea, anxiety, fear, depression, emotional distress, insomnia, and suicidal behaviors. So here in this group, other than cyberbullying, traditional bullying as well, how many of you have felt these types of behaviors if you were once bullied, whether it's traditional or cyber? Would anyone like to share how it made them feel?
Bad.
Why was it bad?
Because I didn't have any lunch money to eat because they stole my lunch money.
So they stole your lunch money?
Yeah.
I think for me, it kind of affected my self-esteem, kind of my confidence.
Definitely, bullying can affect the confidence of someone, and kind of just leads into what you're talking about, self-esteem and confidence. That has to do with an individual's, or contributes to an individual's social and academic development. So on to our next topic, the impact that it has. Cyberbullying can affect the cognitive development within a child. So students have been reportedly, have been cyberbullied, have had lower attendance rates and participation rates in school. And not only that, they have had more likeliness to have suicidal behaviors. So as you can see, throughout the past 7 years, there's been an immense amount of school attacks. The one in Connecticut that we saw, or the most recent one that was here in California. And so overall, these acts of violent behaviors have been a big contribution to those students being cyberbullied. Some statistical data that we can see from cyberbullying.org is that 18.8 of US students were victims of cyberbullying in 2007. As of 2016, that has increased to 33.8%. So as you can see, in a 10-year time period, it has almost doubled to the amount of cyberbullying. So now, let's think about some innovation or interventions or some strategies to stop cyberbullying. So, as we can see, cyberbullying is a new epidemic here in society. So, what do we do? How do we stop it? What suggestions do we have? And as of right now, a lot of statistics have shown that there isn't any proper interventions whatsoever for stopping cyberbullying. And so if we don't find the proper interventions, it's gonna keep happening more and more. And your kids will be affected by it.
Are you looking for suggestions?
If you, what suggestions
Oh,
do you
I
have?
thought you were asking.
No, please do, yeah, if
no,
you
I
have
was
any
saying-
suggestions.
I believe parents should be somewhat like criminally, held liable, responsible.
Definitely, definitely. And the biggest strategy that people have been coming up with is to have a team that consists of parents, school administrators, teachers, and not only that, healthcare providers. So as you can see, it does cause mental and health conditions, and it is important for individuals to group up together in the community and find the best strategy to stop cyberbullying. Some recommendations for kids that are already encountering cyberbullying. There's been 3 methods used: acceptance, justification, and talk in person. Acceptance is knowing that cyberbullying is going to happen. It is inevitable, regardless of what status you are in the socioeconomics, or whether you're a jock or whether you're in band, you're going to be cyberbullied. That's just how it is now. Because of the amount of technology that has happened, we have to accept that it's going to happen. And justification: understand why the individual is cyberbullying, and understand that you are not the victim, but in a sense that other individual is the victim because they are struggling. And know that talk in person, through text message, through electronic devices, communication is very ambiguous. We can see something as sarcasm or through text message versus in person, it could be something serious. So if you do see any potential cyberbullying, please address it in person to that person or to the parent so that it can be stopped. Thank you all for coming to this seminar in regards to cyberbullying. Before we do leave today, does anyone have any questions or concerns?
Are the statistics higher today than overall bullying?
In terms of traditional,
Just in general bullying.
it has
That's what they're
increased
saying.
in terms of not just traditional bullying, but now it is also cyberbullying.
It's become easier.
So those two together, yes, correct, the percentage has
So
increased.
what are the statistics to support that there's more bullying,
What statistics?
or that support that there's more bullying today than there ever was? Did like higher suicide rates, higher mental?
This has been
cases?
through, it's through qualitative research. 16,000 high school students were interviewed between a 10-year time span, and that's all across the United States. And through research questions, we have found out that there has been an immense amount more of bullying, not just traditionally, but cyber as well. Yes.
Like, what's the main, like website, like people get cyberbullied, like social media or like video games or something?
It's definitely social media, Facebook, Twitter. As I said, it's those Instagram. Those are the main websites that are being targeted. Video games, you are correct. You are still, however, because there are an immense amount more people on Instagram, Facebook. There is a large amount of people that are vulnerable to being cyberbullied.
Is there a regulatory advisory board that goes into looking into these media streams, saying, hey, this is harassment?
That's a very great question, because as we mentioned, cyberbullying is new. It's a new epidemic. So no, there is no group for that, and that's why I do encourage you to create a team in your community so that we could attack those problems and help our kids live better lives and have a better future.
One last question.
Yeah, of course.
I know that we're focusing more on kids, but have you come across any studies that have shown that it's kind of gone into like the workplace type of cyberbullying?
I have not, no, and that's definitely a great, that's a great question. That's something that we should research more into because,
That would show more reinforcement.
yeah, definitely from the top, you know, we have.
Well, yeah, just because I know that there's sexual harassment training in the workplace, so
Yeah.
I was wondering if they're gonna start, bringing that into the workplace as well to deal with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and so the current policies in place in our schools, it's just more about traditional bullying, so we necessarily are emphasizing on not bullying. However, we're teaching the wrong, methods of preventing it.
Great, thank you for bringing us the
Yeah, great.
information.
Thank you all.